Hello, my darlings, and welcome to the pilot episode of a new series that I've been working on. Mod Check will be a series where I'll be covering the latest news in the GTA modding scene. With every developer having their own Discord to track and a million different posts on GTA forums each day, I thought it would be cool to condense this into an easy to digest video newsletter that covers the newest GTA modding updates, announcements, and so on. As this is a pilot episode, I'd love to hear your thoughts once you're done watching, and I'd really appreciate it if you could spread the word far and wide so I can properly see if there's any interest for this kind of thing. Also, if there's something you think I missed, let me know in the comments. For this particular episode, I thought we'd take a look back at 2025 so far, and what has been cooking from these mod developers in the last 6 months or so. Every subsequent episode won't cover nearly as much, but why not start with a bang, right? Speaking of starting with a bang, what better way to start off 2025 than reading a huge announcement from possibly the most anticipated GTA mod ever? If you haven't heard of LCO1, first, where the hell have you been? LCO1 is a mod for GTA 3 that completely redefines the definition of the word limitation. GTA 3 is widely known to be quite limited to develop for, or at least it was before this absolute super team came along. LCO1 includes a huge lineup of well-known developers in the scene, all coming together to create the most incredible rendition of GTA 3 I've ever seen. This mod is mental in terms of scope, and they've even announced a DLC for it on January 1st of this year. A full 3D recreation of GTA Advance inside GTA 3's engine. Simply incredible. No release date yet for this, or LCO1 itself just yet, but once a date gets set, you'll be the first to know. Hey, did you guys hear about the Liberty City Preservation project? Turns out Take-Two did as well, and you can imagine how that went. This project was dedicated to porting over the GTA 4 map into GTA 5. I didn't try it myself, but looking at videos from other creators such as Badger, it seemed really like a true passion project. Sadly, Take-Two didn't see it that way, and on January 15th, the project was nuked. As with all these now removed projects, there are downloads elsewhere if you want to check it out, and you can find all further information from the team who made it over at worldtravel.dev. Fortunately for every mod death, we have many more being created. So let's take a look at a brand new San Andreas mod called the 3D Saga. This project is being developed by NL and is essentially a what-if scenario for the entire 3D trilogy. It's still early days, and this build was actually sent to me privately, but I definitely think it's worth showing new projects as they arise. Again, if there's any updates, you'll be the first to know. One final bombshell for the month of January, GTA Vice City Next Gen Edition. This mod releasing was easily the biggest deal of the year so far, massively compounded by what happened afterwards. If you've been living under a rock, this mod is GTA Vice City in the GTA 4 engine, fully rewritten from scratch. This mod got a ton of buzz, and it didn't avoid the gaze of Take-Two for long. Just days before the mod was set to release, their entire YouTube channel got completely nuked. Trailers, everything gone in an instant. This didn't bode well for the team, as it likely meant that Take-Two was bringing the hammer down very soon. Well, the devs didn't go down too easily. In fact, they did the opposite and released the mod anyway. Not only did they release the mod, but they provided a full copy of GTA 4 as well. Now, I'm no lawyer, but I'm pretty sure that providing a fully playable copy of GTA 4 along with your mod is a great way to get sued. GTA 4 can still be purchased via things like Steam. These guys were just straight up distributing a pirated copy of the game. Whether you think they were incredibly stupid or incredibly brave, it's definitely the first time I've ever seen someone give such a middle finger to Take-Two. I played this mod when it launched, and the launch was very polarizing. A lot of players and creators were hailing it as the most incredible thing they'd ever seen, and I definitely agree that it's a crazy achievement. However, at least the first build that was released, version 1.1, was borderline unplayable in places in my opinion. It needed months more in the oven before it could be considered finished, but there's definitely a reality where they rushed the release ahead of Take-Two potentially coming down on them. They also released all of their source codes so the community could build on it in the future. More on that later. Starting off in February, do you want the good news or the bad news? The good news is that the Stars and Stripes mod, a massive map expansion for San Andreas, released version 1.5. The bad news is that they released this and immediately canned the project out of fear of Take-Two coming down on them. Fortunately, this isn't the last time we will hear about this project, so stay tuned. Just a few days later, we got an update from Nocturne team. These guys are the devs behind the very promising Shark's Vengeance mod for Vice City. However, their announcement was a little strange. They announced an entirely different mod that wasn't Shark's Vengeance. This is Leo Teal's story, a prequel to Vice City that takes a look at that pesky chef on Ocean Drive and his backstory. It's normal for bigger teams to run several projects at the same time, but Nocturne is a very small group, so it seems that development has almost fully ceased on Shark's Vengeance in favor of creating this project. The team brought me in to run some QA, and my first experience was fairly mixed. That being said, it's still early days, so we'll let them cook a little longer. Hey, it's February 14th, happy Valentine's Day. Have a new GTA mod trailer. This here is GTA Sanvive, a 1000 plus GTA San Andreas mod pack. Certainly looks interesting, but I would like to remind everyone of the 2 rules that you shouldn't break when making a GTA mod. Rule number 1, do not create massive hype to appear on Take-Two's radar. Rule number 2, do not take money for your project. Sanvive has very much broken both of these rules, so we'll see how they get on. GTA Extended Features is a massive expansion for Vice City, and it's getting closer and closer to version 1.0. I've been quite skeptical about this mod since I played it and it crashed a lot, and a lot of the development seemed to be quantity over quality, adding in very unnecessary things all over the shop. On February 16th, we got version 0.9.9. This update included some stability fixes and some big map expansions including Brookstown and Shady Acres. It's great that the dev has been working on stability fixes to fix the crashing issues, and I'm very excited to play version 1.0. Final bit of news for February, and it's more Next Gen Edition. Earlier on, we discussed how the Next Gen Edition developers had left the source code available for the community to fix. The original release was version 1.1, and it only took a few weeks before we got version 1.2. The team behind this is named Ballers Games, and they promised a lot with this update. The issue that I had with this update was that some of it simply wasn't true. It is definitely a big improvement over the release version, but some of the major changes on their changelog were not true at all. They hadn't been fixed. Playing through this update really gave me motivation to work on a patch 1.3, which would fix everything that 1.2 claimed to fix and more. Stay tuned for updates on that. March was a fairly quiet month, but we did see some updates. The big one being Barcode Studio, the developers of Ferelli Redemption and Sindacco Chronicles, releasing the PS2 version for the latter. It is super impressive that these guys got their mods running on console as well as PC, especially considering Sindacco Chronicles is a PSP title. Modding for PC is difficult enough, so my hat goes to these guys for tackling handheld modding as well. Their next project is more than likely Ferelli Redemption Remastered, which was announced last year. So very much looking forward to that one, and as soon as there's any updates, I'll let you know. There was one more announcement in March, and that was from the team behind Blue and Blood, a cop-focused San Andreas expansion. This one looked very promising, emphasis on the looked because just a few weeks later the project was cancelled. It's not all bad though, as the reason the devs gave for cancelling the project is that they wanted to turn it into its own game entirely. If they can pull that off, that would be epic, so good luck to them. Hey, remember that official San Andreas VR port that was taken out back and shot a few months ago? The same one that's cancellation announcement was nothing but a YouTube comment? I sure do. There are many times when an official game or port gets cancelled and modders take over. And this time was no different, as now we have unofficial VR for San Andreas. This mod uses UEVR, which is a tool that converts Unreal Engine games into VR experiences. Friend of the channel Blado Potato showcased it on his channel, and it honestly looks sick. If I had the setup for it, I'd try it myself. This next one is a real doozy. Remember Shino Vice, the Duke Nukem Forever of GTA mods that's been in development hell for over a decade now? Well, it might just be breathing new life, as they recently opened a brand new Discord as well as a YouTube channel. Not only that, but also 1826, lead developer at Barcode Studio, has seemingly stepped in and revived the project, trying his best to drag it over the finish line. These guys released a demo all the way back in 2019 that was rough to say the least, so I checked in with 1826 to get an update on how things were going. 1826 shared that he has had to postpone development for the time being on Ferelli Redemption Remastered due to personal reasons within the team, but instead was able to start working for the Shine of Vice team in the meantime. Things were moving at a snail's pace when it came to development before he arrived, with not much progress being made since the demo that released over half a decade ago. There were discussions on whether the team should just release the mod and call it quits, but 1826 urged them to continue development and rework the entire thing to a much higher standard. 1826 then compiled a 106-page document of every bug report he could find and every improvement he could think of. He has also been working tirelessly to push the mod to a higher regard than just a total conversion from 2013, but instead create a product that truly pushes boundaries in the current era to justify the crazy long development time. I've been told that a lot of the notorious content from the demo, such as the infamous bulldozer mission, have been removed entirely and replaced with more high-quality stuff to sink your teeth into. Due to all these changes, they still have a long way to go, but from speaking to other developers, it sounds like 1826's involvement in just a few short months has led to more progress on the mod than the previous 6 years since the demo released. Now for something completely different. Check out this sick vehicle Deformation mod by ZZ Puma. This is very much a work in progress, but as you can see by the footage, this thing is gnarly. Nothing like seeing your favorite GTA vehicle getting absolutely crushed like that. Final update for April, and we're checking in again on Nocturne team. Last we heard of them, they had announced Leo Teal's story, and they were looking to release that before going back to Shark's Vengeance. They teased an April release, but that never happened. They then teased a May release, but that also never happened. Some IRL stuff definitely got in the way for the devs, no doubt, but this is also a good lesson on why you shouldn't announce a date unless you're actually finished. It's clear to those keeping an eye on the development timeline that the mod itself isn't finished, so any big bugs popping up now will cause them to miss their next release date. They've since announced a June release, so let's hope they can get there and not have to delay the mod for a third time. Earlier on in the video, we discussed Stars and Stripes and the fact that they had disbanded after releasing version 1.5. Well, let me introduce Project Eagle, a follow-on from Stars and Stripes where both new, old, and new devs are joining forces to make an even better version. Project Eagle released version 1.0 and 1.1 within the month of May, building up the foundation of Stars and Stripes, as well as adding various map updates, new activities, and infrastructure. This is all well and good until a few weeks later, where we got this post on Mixmods. The post itself is a complete mess to read due to the constant updates and edits, but the TLDR is that Project Eagle's Discord server was found to be full of nasty shit. And we're talking like neo-Nazi tier nasty shit here, not just a few edgy developers. Now the people behind Mixmods have withdrawn their previous consent for Project Eagle to use their mods as part of the package. Obviously, I'm not going to show any of it here, but the blog post details some Project Eagle developers claiming that this stuff was from years ago and that they're not the same people now. Immediately followed up with racist and Hitler-related comments from the devs from just a few months ago. Not a good look. What is also not a good look is that one of the devs allegedly responded on an alt account and said they were going to use the mods anyway, regardless of permission. The whole situation is a mess, still evolving, so take everything with a pinch of salt, but this is a hell of a bad start for the Project Eagle team. It's the month of San Andreas apparently, as we have 2 more mods to look at this month. The first is none other than Tightenedreas from Dinosaur Bites. His newest project is coming along really nicely, and we've seen some hilarious updates recently. The best one I've seen so far is a new minigame in San Fierro, where you use satchel charges to blow up porta potties and place them into holes like a round of golf. Absolutely brilliant stuff, and I'm really excited for the full release of this. He's also added in some other minor changes, such as none other than DJ Terry returning from Vice City Stories. Check it out.
Hey, welcome back. You're on Flash with me, Terry, broadcasting live from downtown Los Santos all across the San Andreas state, playing you the top 40 hits all day, every day. Like, who chooses these songs? I have no idea. Like, who listens to these songs? Who cares? I get paid to press 3 buttons and do lines. Speaking of which, my dealer's waving at me through the door. So, here's the Fresh Prince. Flash FM. Little Laura Branigan. I remember the last time I heard Moonlight on the Water. I was getting dressed after sleeping with that rapper OG Loke. I say sleeping with. It was mostly spooning while he cried about some guy called Freddy and a unicycle.
Our final update comes from Tales from San Andreas, which is a mod made by Style 4007. Style is working with me on my own projects, so I can vouch for him being an absolute legend. His mod acts as a sort of sequel / what-if scenario after the events of the main game of San Andreas. Pretty much everyone CJ knows gets kidnapped, and he needs to make a $1 million ransom in order to get it all rectified. The entire campaign from there is building up an empire around SA in order to make up the funds. I've been testing this one on my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/englishben by the way, and the quality is insane so far. No release date, but as usual, you'll be the first to know if I hear about it. Finally, on to June now. Let's head back and take a look at what the LC01 guys have been up to. There's so much to look at here, but Sergiu's YouTube channel gives a glimpse at all the best bits. We have Claude playing basketball, as well as some exclusive footage of the insane details in Bedford Point. All of this running in the GTA 3 engine is nothing short of incredible work. Also, if you check the beta footage out on YouTube, you'll see that some of the missions have been rewritten, silencing all the doubts that this would just be a pure reskin. Next up is a quick look at Vice Extended, my current mod of the year. I played this a few months back, and they actually released an update just recently. It's not anything massive, but it does actually include some ideas that I had during my first playthrough, such as unique newspapers after certain in-game milestones. Always glad to see updates from these type of projects, and you're totally welcome for the newspaper thing, or me. Moving on now to GTA San Andreas stories. There's a bunch of mods with the same name, but this one seems to be actually half decent. The same can't be said for their studio name of SASquad, but that's another story entirely. These guys released a demo a while back for their project, which I actually quite liked. But since then, they've been making some really weird decisions on the outside. Starting all the way back in February when they decided to lock their mod download behind sharing your personal information with them on their website in order for them to thank you. I called them out for this and it was quickly removed, but it doesn't take a genius to see that this was a really weird move. Recently, they added a support chatbot AI feature on their website, which isn't necessarily bad, but why would you need this when your website is just screenshots and a download link to a GTA mod? If the weird data collection thing hadn't happened prior, you might not think much of it. But I don't know, man, I'm seeing some red flags and I would exercise caution when interacting with their website. Now that we're getting towards the end, I thought I would use this last entry as more of a creator or mod spotlight depending on what has been released recently. Today's spotlight will be looking at Blado Potato, a fellow creator who I mentioned earlier who looks at GTA mods. He started a sort of mini-series recently that looks at potentially lost and obscure GTA mods you might never have heard of. He released episode 2 just the other day, and it covers some bonkers stuff, like an entire dinosaur-based total conversion. Link for that in the description. And that about does it for 2025 in the GTA modding scene. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and if you'd like to see more of these, then let me know in the comments. As I said, I'm not exactly sure how often I will do these. They might just be a sort of as and when type of deal whenever we get enough coverage. Thank you as always to my channel members who keep this channel going. If you want early access to these type of videos as well as a number of other benefits, you can click the join button below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.